mean, we're back at it. It feels good to be back at it.
Yeah, we've been at it a lot.
Yeah. We have been, but we've been too tired.
Yeah.
The lifestyle of a jacked bro has gotten away from us.
It has.
Goodness gracious, it's a lot of activity.
Yeah.
You don't think about that.
No.
You don't think when you make the commitment, you're
Being
like,
a jack bro.
yeah, I just get to do a lot of parkour, and that's all you really think about.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna really enjoy, taking my shirt off places.
You've been sending me all those videos of drunk people that are like falling off of things, not properly jumping off a roofus into pools, like not, jacked bro fails, if you will. And they all like are getting back up like, woohoo. But like, the next day they're like, ooh.
Yeah, some of those people don't have strong enough core to have handled the fall they took.
Yeah.
Right? And we're just going to gloss over the fact that you said Rufus, too. It's not a big deal. That happens.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Raise the Rufus.
All the Rufus.
Goodness gracious. So it's it's just good to be able to sit here present, in my mind and body.
You got all the energy, huh?
Goodness gracious, it's been tough. Well, first of all, congratulations on your win in your jiu-jitsu tournament.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Ansley got another win. Good for her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything else you want to say about it?
Just it was, it felt good. I guess that's all it is.
I mean, if you want to hear any detailed talk about the tournaments that Ansley gets into, subscribe to the Patreon. I mean, get into the Patreon. That's where we talk about that kind of stuff. Yeah. Out here, we just raise the Rufus. In this podcast, we're about raising the Rufus.
Fire.
Amen. Speaking of raising the Rufus, what do you think all day in the mind with Elliot Page's new abs?
I guess I feel like she's cheating a little bit, but I don't know if I do, because it's like nothing else is. I don't know. It's very confusing because I don't want to be offensive, right? But like when you start putting muscles on yourself to like be the gender, like you can be a guy, but who said you get to be a jacked guy? Like you didn't earn your jacked bro status.
Yeah, you got jacked implants?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
you're implanting jacked? And that's the thing. I agree with you 100%. Like if you feel like you are a different sex, then you were born and you're making that transition, I support, which that's who Elliot Page is, by the way. If you don't follow that kind of stuff, Elliot Page was in the big movie Juno and some other movies. Now she's transitioned, and they're still using
Inception.
Elliot Page. Yeah, Inception. They're still using Elliot Page in news articles, too. So
did the name change?
Yeah, I don't know if there is a name change.
Oh.
Elliot works.
Yeah, yeah.
And if that is the case, if they are not what they call dead naming her, if she did in fact keep the same name because it is an asexual name to begin with, I support.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah, that was very efficient.
Yeah, yeah.
You changed your sexual identity, not your overall identity.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Right? So she stowed off a picture of her shirtless after she got what they call the top surgery. So she got her.
Is that the official name, the top surgery?
That's what the newspaper article was called.
She got the Rufus.
So she raised the Rufus. Her breasts are gone.
Yeah.
Her Rufus had been raised.
Yeah.
But now she also has like ridiculous abs.
Yeah. Which,
again, I am okay with the fact that you are changing your sexual identity, but the abs, that's still invalid. You earn abs.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you are born a sex.
Because of the funny thing, so it's okay to be like, I really feel like I'm a guy, right? Like you can have that internal dialogue and you can follow up on it. Like that's my identity. But do we really get to say, I think I'm a jacked guy? Like without the effort, without the gym time, without the like. Trust me, you would know if you were a jacked guy.
You wouldn't have to identify as a jacked guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's
But at the same time, like guys that identify as women and get breast implants don't always get breast implants that fit their body. Sometimes they get the biggest boobies, and so like who says they get to be big titted ladies?
Yeah, but they're being titty ladies. Do you know what I mean? Like breasts again are genetic. What your titties will end up looking like in the future have a lot to do with what your mom's titties look like.
Yeah.
So they're genetic. And if you feel like you identify as something different genetically, like you could like I could have been born.
Well, we got to check out your mom's titties before you get your implants done. Like, we're gonna line this up.
You know how sensitive I am about my mom's titties.
We've all seen your mom's titties.
Yeah,
so
embarrassing how exposed my mom's titties have been over my lifetime.
Yeah.
It's because like I'm probably one of the few people that when somebody says mom's titties, I picture my mom's titties.
Your own mom's, huh?
It's so unfortunate. That's such an unfortunate thing that I have to live with.
Yeah.
That's like the word tit, like, and she also used the word titties all the time.
Yeah.
My mom walked around the house my whole entire life with her titties out saying titties.
She was titties. She have a titty song.
Every song she sang was titties. It was just titties. Titties by Mary J. Blige. Titties by Janet Jackson. Titties. Man. But yeah, so I don't know how comfortable I am with her stealing jacked valor like that.
Yeah, they weren't just like
he is stealing jacked
a 4-pack. It was like 8-pack.
It was like an 8-pack.
Yeah.
It was an 8-pack.
Went all in.
Like, what are you doing? It's like
I want the bottom abs too.
Yeah.
Like not.
It's like I also identify as somebody that has the abs of a Batman suit. You can't just do that. That's insane. But, you know, as a person, as an abbed American, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get wanting abs.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It's a fun look, but those are non-functional abs.
Right. Yeah. If he ever has to, I don't know, crunch up to save a kitten. Sorry, kitten.
It's like I can only climb feet first. Now I'm upside down. What can I do?
But you've got an 8-pack.
Yeah, that's we're ready to get into this show?
I'm ready.
Let's get into this show. Welcome. If this is your first time listening to Two Jack Bros, thank you for sticking with us this long through my disapproval of Elliot Page's abs.
Yes.
I like the thing is, like, I'm saying we're making a lot of jokes about it, but I am dead fucking serious. That pisses me off. That grinds my gears like you wouldn't believe. And but no, Two Jack Bros, if you've never been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. We love you. You know we do. And what we're doing is we're trying to take exactly the two people that you just heard being pissed off about Elliot Page's abs and get us to enlightenment somehow.
It's quite a journey.
It's quite a journey.
Come with us.
It's quite a journey.
We'll be here week after week after week.
Yeah. And one of the first things that we do is we start our week off by trying to get our energy set right, by making any sort of apology that needs to be made to somebody that may know it or may not know it, or just an entity or whatever apology needs to be made to set the energies back to neutral.
You know what? This kind of makes me laugh because we've been too tired, right? But we've had apologies every time, and I still have a new apology. So, I mean, maybe it took all of these to, like, set my energy right, and, like, this was the one I really needed to apologize for. Yeah,
this is, like, the third podcast we did this week.
Yeah.
This is the one that's going to stick. Unfortunately, it's going to be a short episode because I have to hit the road. I have to travel. This is always going to be a travel day for me, and I'm going to go be a guest on a podcast. I don't want to say the name and jinx it. Like, what if something technical difficulties happen and the episode doesn't happen and people are like, "You lied."
Yeah.
But it's going to be a loud, good time. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
See what I did there? So you finally got your apology.
Yeah.
You kicked 2 other apologies to the curb.
Yeah.
And now you got it.
And, you know, I think this is the right apology because it brings me a little bit of shame.
Okay.
You know?
That's what a good apology does.
Yeah.
That's what a good setting of the energy back to neutral does.
Yeah. And, of course, this is a parenting apology.
Oh, yeah?
Which, you know.
Did you hit one of our kids?
I didn't hit anybody.
Okay.
Physically,
did you have to sit your yelling at kid meter back to 0?
No. I think I was emotionally mean.
Okay.
We and the kids were on a little road trip, on a little adventure.
Yeah.
Heading out. And I had packed everybody a lunch. and I had packed one bag of chips, like a big Ziploc bag of chips.
It doesn't sound like enough.
Well, I put a lot of chips. It was like the gallon container.
Yeah, but I think you're trying to divvy out chips for 3 kids.
Yeah.
I don't think moms are good at like divvying out things like chips.
Well, it wasn't the quantity of chips. The issue was whose lunchbox the large bag of chips went in, who had the power of the chips.
Damn.
Right?
That's a big power.
I gave the power of the chips to Cora. Cora would not give her brother a chip.
That is that was a bad parenting decision.
This isn't the end of it.
Yeah.
The bad parenting decisions.
All right, but you do know now that the chips should have went to Huntley.
There was I couldn't fit them into her lunchbox. Of course, that was my go-to.
Yeah.
I was like, of course, Huntley gets the chips. But for whatever reason,
I mean, he is the oldest. he is second in command of chips. I know he should like no oldest male should ever be first in command of chips.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's just not good.
So we had stopped for smoothies already. And they were like, I was like, you guys are getting a smoothie to share. They're expensive smoothies. They can't each have their own smoothie.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Wait, by the way, Cora is, our daughter Cora is just a person who just likes to see people squirm. She enjoys having the power to make, like if she had, like, she'll be like, she'll say something and my other daughter will be like, what did you say? And she'll be like, nothing. Just because she knows that her sister cannot just have that be the case.
No,
you said something.
I hear her in my head right now being like, what did you say?
Yeah, tell me. It's like it starts off, no, tell me. No, tell me. Tell me. And it just starts getting, and she's just like, no, not going to tell you. Not going to tell you. Just loving it.
Yeah.
And you gave this human being power of the chips.
Power of the chips. Yeah, I mean, this wasn't my finest parenting moment. I'm apologizing, Sidney.
Yeah.
I realized
I just want to make sure you're also apologizing for all the little mistakes you made along the way.
Okay.
Right?
So, power went straight to her head. She wasn't sharing the chips properly.
Yeah.
It didn't take but a second to go like this. The situation went bad immediately.
I'm surprised she didn't say something as you were handing her the chips that would have made you change her mind.
They were in her lunchbox.
Yeah,
She pulled them out.
Yeah.
So we stopped to get gas in the middle of this chip gate. And I said, and she wouldn't give her brother the chips. And they were whining about stuff, and I was a little annoyed.
Oh, now you're trying to set the context for what's about to happen. It's like it was like it wasn't all my fault what I did next.
And so I told her she wouldn't give the chips to her she wouldn't share the chips.
Did you grab the bag of chips and throw them out the window? That's what I would have did.
I took the chips and I gave them to her brother, and I was like, "You have lost the chip power." Like I was like, "It's gone," and she said or started like crying, like she was, and I was like, I'm glad you're upset. I did that to make you upset because you were being mean.
Yeah.
Right?
Man, you might have just lost your power. I remember when my mom told me that she was purposely trying to make me upset. That was the last time I gave her the benefit of seeing that.
Oh.
She never got to see that again. My mom never got to see her power of the chip over me from like 7 on. I was a stoic little bastard.
Well, this story doesn't end here.
Yeah.
So the chip power got transferred, and now the chips are in the front seat with me and the boy, and so now I'm helping hand out chips to everybody.
Wait, really quickly, was there did you ever, do you recall a time where you realized that like part of your parents' discipline was to also get to you emotionally?
When I was like a senior in high school.
Yeah.
I do. I remember, I mean, maybe it happened before then. Like there's a big story about how my dad kept telling me not to get out of, well, I guess that's not emotionally. There's like a big story of my dad kept telling me not to get out of the seat in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I kept getting out of my seat and not listening. There's multiple stories like this when my dad was telling me to do something and I wasn't listening. And the consequences, like he took his belt off and belted me to the seat.
Yeah.
And he said, I just sat there the rest of the dinner glaring at him.
Yeah.
But like, I remember like in high school, you know, like he moved out my senior year and he would come back every once in a while.
Yeah.
And like when he was gone, I kind of had a lot more freedom. Yeah. And he came back and I was like late on my curfew.
That's what freedom does to a young girl. It makes her see her dad as a paper lion.
Yeah. Yeah. And so he comes back and I was late for my curfew. But I was also like I remember like it was an emotional high school girl emotional night, like maybe boy problems, like friend problems, you know, like it was like I was like Fiona Apple listening to music type of night. And I came in.
Fiona in all the way home and then
and then he was like, Ansley, you know, like you're late for your curfew. And I was just like, I'm sorry, Dad. Like, you know, it was like you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. You're so right. And like, he didn't, like, nothing escalated. And I was like, there's the power. There's my chip power. Like, yeah.
You just, look, dude, we're just two adults that I'm late. That's the only difference. We're just two humans. I just happen to be late.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. I'm dealing with some things. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right.
So that situation happened. But here's the kicker. So the other night, the night before, we're getting ready for bed and we're talking in the bathroom and Huntley said something about sometimes you can be a mean mommy. And I was like, I can be a mean mommy. I was like, Huntley, what are you talking about? I was like, you've seen me be mean mommy? And she was like, yeah, the other day in the car when you told Cora that you did that to hurt her feelings. And I died as a mom.
Oh my God.
And
damn.
I apologize.
You almost don't have to apologize. I feel like the universe set you straight. Her identical twin sister was like, you were mean to my sister.
Oh.
And that was bad momming.
It hurt like all the way.
Wow.
All the way.
Goodness gracious.
And so yeah, I've been reeling from that for a day and a half.
That was actually what happened was when you said that to her, they realized that now they were like, okay, hurting each other emotionally is on the table now. And then Huntley was like, don't worry, Cora, I got you. I got you.
She
Trust
got me.
If it came from you, it would be expected, so it wouldn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
But if it came from me, out of nowhere.
She said that to hurt my feelings.
She did.
Oh, that girl is so smart.
You. She is. She's a smart girl. She's a smart girl, and she's paying attention.
Yeah.
She's paying attention. Wow.
Yeah.
Devastating.
My bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I feel like you're already set straight by the universe. But if you feel like the need to apologize, goodness gracious, man. So I have a quick apology because, again, we have to do a short episode because I have to travel. But goodness gracious.
You're still getting over it. I'm not over it. It's okay. You can.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's a good set. You know, it's good. I'm sure that is a good thing to get off your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just like building up. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
Do you still love me?
Listen,
will you still let me parent your children?
I still champion what you did. I'm not the one that was emotionally crushed. I'm like, yeah, fucking good for them. I'm glad you said it to her. I'm glad the other two saw it. No, but it's also too. I think there is an importance of knowing that people are doing things to emotionally manipulate you.
Yeah,
like that was something because, my family was so closely associated with con humans.
Yeah,
I was aware of that from a very early age, and I was aware to be careful of that from a very early age.
Yeah. And
what better way to learn to be careful from that shit than to have your mom do it to you? It's like, oh shit, that can come from anybody. Okay. All right. So motherfuckers are just mean out here, huh? Mom's mean too. All right. You should put the fucking hand wraps on. All right, I guess we gonna be mean. I guess we are just a mean people. Yeah. So if you follow the Two Jack Bros saga / phenomenon, you know that our kids are in these weekly races, right?
Yeah.
And we came to the conclusion of these weekly races, and congratulations to our kids. They were the fastest kids in their categories again. And So at the end of these races, by the way, just like great, they just take coaching so well. You know, they just do everything that I asked them to do. They respond, and I have a history with track too. It's just like the non-sport that was my sport. The non-game sport, yeah, that was me.
Yeah,
that was me. And so at the conclusion of the 5-week races, they have an adult race, right?
Yeah.
For 1 mile, which Ansley jumped into the race, and it was on the day that she also won her jiu-jitsu tournament.
Yeah.
Or jiu-jitsu competition rather. It was a one.
Yeah.
It was a one-on-one. So she goes to the race, and we're sitting in an area where she has to go to the starting line because we were in the shade. Now, I have to say this up front, full disclosure, right? The race started. I didn't see the race start before Ansley got to the starting line. Mm-hmm. So the race started, which means Ansley now has to run to the starting line, then start the race.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
What I saw, because I was like adjusting my position to get in a good position to coach.
Yeah.
Right? And so I didn't see the start at all. I could just see the position she was in compared to all the other fucking parents in this race.
Far behind them?
Way far behind them. And
were you like, go ahead, sorry.
Well, I mean, yes.
You're like, did she walk? Like, what did she fall down?
So in my mind, again, I can only see, I see you come around like the first turn.
Yeah.
Which is like, actually, that would be the second turn. I see you coming around the second turn.
Yeah.
Which is deep into the race now.
Yeah.
Right? And I see the position you're in, and I can see that now you can see me.
Yeah.
Because you're coming towards me. So one of the thoughts that I had was like, did she start slow? I was like, okay, now she's running now that she can see me. Now she's actually putting on a pace.
Yeah.
Because I in my mind, you had to be running a slow pace to be that far behind some of those parents.
Yeah.
Like you look at some of those parents that you were behind ended up walking for like 3/4 of that. That was their only lap.
Yeah.
And you were behind them. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with her? There's no possible way she's that tired from that competition today.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, if you're going to run it like that, why run this at all? You didn't have to do this. You know?
Yeah.
And then you see me, it's like, oh, now she's picking it up now that she can see me. Now she's picking it up. Right? So I apologize for that internal narrative that I had.
So all your coaching that you gave me was coming from there?
It was. It was.
You were like, you should start going faster
I
now.
was so annoyed. I was so bothered because one of the officials was talking to me. You know, like these officials like love our kids. Our kids, like they find our kids so impressive. They find us to be a fast family. They keep calling us the fast family. You know, they keep referring to us as a family. And I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? What is she doing?
You're like, I could have done that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And that now it's going to be a racial thing. You know, it's going to be like, oh, he's the fast one because he's black and the extra muscle. So, like, she's got less muscle.
It was like, you know how when the kids start the race and our kids usually wait for go?
Yeah.
That it was like, I had to like weave through because like all the moms were like running together in this weird bunch.
Yeah.
And like I couldn't get through them and around them.
They were canceling
like,
somebody.
Yeah.
they were all running in a group canceling people.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So I apologize for that. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. I didn't realize that you had a delayed start. My bad. I was so hard on you in that race. I'm so sorry that I treated you like that in front of other people. I wasn't, listen, and here's the thing. I wasn't embarrassed, but I was annoyed. I was very annoyed. So, man, not much time left before I have to get on the road and get to this. I mean, is there man, that was only one segment we got to get through.
That was all. Yeah.
That was it.
That was it.
One segment. And we have
look at them all.
Such great segments.
Yeah.
Such great segments. Man. All right. Again, had to be a short episode or would have been no episode at all. I hope this is enough for you. But before we go, I mean, Ansley, this week, did you do it? Did you achieve enlightenment?
No, I don't think you reach enlightenment while you're shaming your children. Like emotionally manipulating your I don't think that's the week that it happens.
I think it's a good turning point.
Yeah.
I think you had a good turning point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always we're turning up.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about us, but we're always starting the incline. Ending the decline.
Here's the funny thing, because we did try like 3 episodes already this week.
Yeah.
And like I was like so proud of us that in one of the episodes we tried this week already that we both didn't have a setback.
Yeah.
Like we both kind of moved forward.
It just took me a while to admit my setback.
It was 2 days. 2 days ago, we were proud parents.
This happened more than 2 days ago.
Yeah.
No, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just wasn't ready to process it.
Live your truth.
Well, I didn't get shamed by our daughter until after that. That's true.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
She got you.
Yeah.
She fucking crushed you.
She let me know.
Yeah. She brought you right back to reality.
Yeah.
Man, kids say the darndest things. Yeah. I would have to say that, I didn't reach enlightenment this week, right? But I don't feel like I necessarily had a setback.
That's good.
Right? I felt like the closest to a setback was my apology.
Yeah.
Giving you the business when you didn't deserve it. And, but I think,
I was so far behind Sidney when they started. I was on the other side of the baseball field. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, you were very far behind when I saw you. Yeah. It was like, what if these people find out we have a podcast called Two Jack Pros? What are you doing?
And that was after already running from where we had been sitting. Like I was running to get there. And then it started and I was still running to get to the starting line.
I'm just hearing excuses. Okay. Yeah, no, I was close. I felt like I was close. Not close to enlightenment, but I was like, I think I pulled myself out of the muck this week.
Yeah, I think I got out of muck.
Yeah, I think I'm like I'll be floating in no time.
Yeah.
Like I'm on solid ground now.
Yeah.
I think like just gotta plot myself down in lotus.
Is that how your journey to enlightenment is, like from muck to solid ground to lotus to like floating? Yeah,
I mean you start off you're a product of the earth, right? Yeah. And you're pulled down by all of the things that the earth offers in temptation. Yeah. And then once you can kind of resist that, you can walk above it.
Yeah.
You can resist the temptation and you can start to enjoy the surface of it, which is like the flowers and the trees. You see how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
And then you become one with everything that the earth is, and you can be like wind,
Yeah.
and kind of like float.
Yeah. It's interesting because my enlightenment is more about like crusty covering, and then like you're like breaking through with the shiny light.
Yeah.
Like it's like, you're
coming out of boogies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Just covered in boogers.
I was thinking like hardened volcano lava type stuff, but
you said
boogers.
Crusties. You said crusty stuff.
Yeah.
You were leaving that to the imagination. That was your fault, not mine.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I feel like things went for me this week. Things got crusty for a little while.
Yeah.
And like now they started to like, there's like shimmers.
Our daughter just started flinging boogies at you. She's like covered you. She covered you with boogies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that was this week.
Mm-hmm.
We running behind. Do not have time for shout outs. Literally. That is how down to the wire this podcast became. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you all. You're currently listening to Melissa Vile Kingdom and Circadian Clock. You'll hear me on the other podcast before this podcast comes out. So if you are new to the podcast from that loud podcast, you just traveled back in time.
Yeah.
You did it. Also, thank you. And check out our Patreon. We love you all.
Love you. Bye.
Okay, got you.